therapist here, and there might be two odd things you've noticed about today's video. Number one, it's been over a year since I've uploaded. I'm really sorry, the pandemic just really made life worse. And number two, I'm actually talking in this video. Well, of course I'll have to, because I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to code in HTML. So without further ado, let's get started. So, first of all, like the most asked question is, where on earth should I code? So, there's a link in the description below. The website is called REPL. And over there, you can create an account. Right now, I'm just going to log in since I have my own account. Now, over here, I've blurred it out, but these are my past projects, and so right now, we're going to go on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You might not have that button, so you'll just hit that plus button here, or if you don't have that either, there's a plus button on the top right corner of the website, which you can click on. So you can click on that. Then there's going to be this 5 logo, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The reason it has a 5 logo is because this is HTML5 we're talking about, and then CSS and JavaScript are other coding languages that go along with HTML. If you're still confused, I can break it down for you even more. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are coding languages. So as you probably know, basically all electronics require coding in order for it to know what to do. And coding has basically like a lot of algorithms, and algorithms are step-by-step instructions that basically state everything it needs to do. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and JS stands for JavaScript. So right now we're going to be focusing on HTML, and then CSS and JavaScript kind of accompany that. So HTML is basically like the scaffolding and the, framework for our entire code. Then CSS is used to style it, and then JavaScript is used to make it interactive. So we'll click on that, and over here we can name it whatever we want. REPL is known to give very funny names. I'll just say part 1, creating a basic page. So most of the times HTML is just used to create websites. So over here is the code that it has by default. So I'll just go ahead and explain all of this. Over here, Doctype Html is just introducing this and telling REPL that this is HTML5 we're coding in, and no other version of HTML, because the other versions of HTML have different, ways of creating an algorithm. Sorry about that. So HTML is like a language of tags. Over here, I'm just gonna quickly zoom in so you can see. Over here is the opening and closing of a tag. So this is a tag basically. And then notice how this is one tag. It's known as an opening tag. And then over here, it's the exact same, except it has a slash before the HTML. And so that basically means that it's just ending what this started. So this is basically introducing all of this, and then this just closes it off. And then every HTML code will have a head. and then it obviously needs to end the head, and then a body. So the head is where like important information about the website goes. For example, like over here it says metachar set equals UTF-8. That means we're coding this in English. If you want, we can say HTML lang is equal to EN, which means English. So there's a difference when I say HTML lang equals N and metachar set equals UTF-8. So HTML lang equals N, that basically means that the language that the text of the HTML is written in is in English, and UTF-8 over here basically means that the code is in English. Then over here, meta name equals viewport content equals width equals device width. So basically it's just something that accommodates for your device. If your device is a computer, the screen will obviously be bigger once this code is run. And then over here, title REPL it. Okay, I'll just quickly explain that. Over here it says hello world because there is a hello world. But if I open this in a new tab, well, first of all, once we've loaded the web page, we can see that our the name of our project is over there, and then it has hello world because that's still in the code. We can get rid of it later on. And then over here it says REPLIT, REPLIT, and over here it says title is REPLIT. That means that the title is basically like what it displays over here, and you might be wondering what on earth is the purpose of a title. Well, say I have like way too many tabs open, and like I want to know which one is which. I don't want to have to go through all the tabs in order to figure it out. I can just see the title and go based off of that. So I can change this title to I'll just say techie. Oh, whoops. Techie. And let's refresh the page. Aha! Now the title has become techie. So then over here, this link href equals style.css. We notice that there are 3 files that REPL has created by default for us. Over here, there's JavaScript, as I said before, that makes the web page interactive. And then there's CSS, which, as I said before, styles it. So this logo is JS because it's just an easy way to abbreviate JavaScript. And then over here, because the current version of CSS is CSS 3. And then REL basically means like, for now, like I'll just say that it means that the purpose of that is because that's a style sheet, and the type is text/CSS. That means the language we're going to be inputting in there is CSS. But like I said, this isn't necessarily important because we aren't going to be learning CSS until later on. So that is the end of the head, and now we enter the body. The purpose of the script tag is to link it to the JavaScript file, and well, in this case we're already explicitly stating that it's a script, which is why we do not need to include these two over here. And then so like there's and I should have said this for styling before, but there's always 2 ways to do this, and like we'll talk more about it later, but instead of doing that, we can just say script over here, then close that, and then we can put all of our JavaScript in here rather than having to link another file. But for now, we can just use that, and it'll link it over here. It also helps us stay organized. Similarly, we can delete that and just say style over here, and \style over here, and then instead of having to link it to another file, we can just put our style in here, and the HTML knows that we're going to be putting CSS into the style and this JavaScript into the script. But like I said, that just does not matter. So we just keep it that way. Yeah, back to the script. So script src. Src basically means source. So the source of the script is in script.js. So like if I code anything in JavaScript over here, it knows where to fetch the script from script.js. And the reason we always put that at the end of the body and not in the head is because HTML executes the code line by line, and if the JavaScript is before like the framework, like which is basically the HTML, it might slow down how fast the website loads, and that can get really annoying. The reason we put style before the HTML is because we want the page to know that the HTML code needs to be styled. We do not want like a naked HTML page without any style. And then like all of a sudden 5 seconds later, that is if you have slow Wi-Fi, 5 seconds later, you finally see the style. So over here, we have our script. Now, so now the first thing we're going to be covering, well, we did cover a lot already. The first thing we're actually going to get to do is coding the headings. Over here, I have, let's put h1 and slash h1. Whoops. Yikes. Okay. So in between the two is a heading. So h1 basically means the biggest possible heading, and then we always need the closing tag, right? If we have that thing opening it, we need this to close it. Over here we can say, hi guys, or I can say, it's supposed to be a heading, so I'll just say the tech therapist. I'll run the code, and then if I want, I can open it in a new tab, and it'll have that heading. And now there's 6 different heading sizes, and then you can also customize the size, but that is CSS. So H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest, so it goes H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So just give me a quick moment. I am going to add in all the headings. Alright, so I got it in H1 through H6. Now I'll run it. And so the reason I put the same text is so that you can actually compare the sizes. And then decide which one suits you more. Thank you for listening. You guys now have like basically a basic sense of what HTML is. If you're still confused, don't worry. I was also confused when I started learning, but then, you know, my concepts got cleared every time I learned something new in HTML. So it'll all be good. Stay tuned and please watch my next video. And remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Alright, thank you guys.